Welcome to our channel, Wild Guys. Today we will answer the question that all of you are wondering. What will happen on Earth if the ice melts in Antarctica? Subscribe to the channel and we are getting started. Antarctica is the least explored continent located in the south of the world. Most of its surface has an ice cover, up to 4.8 kilometers thick. The Antarctic ice sheet contains 90% of all the ice on our planet. It is so heavy that under it the mainland sank almost 500 meters. Today, the world is seeing the first signs of global warming in Antarctica. Large glaciers are collapsing, new lakes are appearing, and the soil is losing its ice cover. Let's simulate the situation. What will happen if Antarctica loses its ice? Today, the area of Antarctica is 14,107,000 square kilometers. If the glaciers melt, these numbers will drop by a third. The mainland will become almost unrecognizable. Under the ice are numerous mountain ranges and massifs. The western part will definitely become an archipelago, and the eastern part will remain the mainland, although, given the rise of ocean waters, it will not hold such a status for a long time. At the moment, many representatives of the plant world are found on the Antarctic Peninsula, islands and coastal oases, flowers, ferns, lichens, algae, and recently their diversity has been gradually increasing. There are also fungi and some bacteria, and seals and penguins occupy the coast. Already now, on the same Antarctic Peninsula, the appearance of tundra is observed, and scientists are sure that with warming there will be both trees and new representatives of the animal world. By the way, Antarctica holds several records. The lowest recorded temperature on Earth is 89.2 degrees below zero. There is the largest crater on Earth, the strongest and longest winds. Today there is no permanent population in Antarctica. There are only employees of scientific stations, and sometimes tourists visit it. With climate change, the former cold continent may become suitable for permanent human habitation, but now it is difficult to talk about this with certainty. Everything will depend on the current climatic situation. Rising water levels in the world's oceans, so scientists have calculated that after the melting of the ice cover, the level of the world's oceans will rise by almost 60 meters. And this is a lot and will be equated with a global catastrophe. The coastline will shift significantly, and today's coastal zone of the continents will be underwater. Such large cities as Astrakhan, Arkhangelsk, St. Petersburg, Novgorod and Makhachkala will go underwater. Crimea will turn into an island, only its mountainous part will rise above the sea. And in the Krasnodar territory, only Novorossiysk, Anapa and Sochi will be heated. Siberia and the Urals will not be subjected to too much flooding. Mostly residents of coastal settlements will have to be relocated. The Black Sea will grow. In addition to the northern part of the Crimea and Odessa, it will also clean up Istanbul. Signed cities that will be underwater, the Baltic states, Denmark and Holland, will almost completely disappear. In general, European cities such as London, Rome, Venice, Amsterdam and Copenhagen will go underwater along with all their cultural heritage. So while there is time, be sure to visit them and take pictures on Instagram, because your grandchildren will most likely already do this, they won't be able to. The Americans will also have a hard time, who will definitely be left without Washington, New York, Boston, San Francisco, Los Angeles and many other large coastal cities. What will happen to North America? Signed cities that will be underwater, the climate will already undergo unpleasant changes that will lead to the melting of the ice sheet. According to environmentalists, the ice of Antarctica and those that are on mountain peaks help maintain the temperature balance on the planet, cooling its atmosphere. Without them, this balance will be upset. The flow of a large amount of fresh water into the world's oceans will certainly affect the direction of large ocean currents, which largely determine the climatic conditions in many regions. So it is not yet possible to say with certainty what will become of our weather. The number of natural disasters will increase significantly. Hurricanes, typhoons and tornadoes will claim thousands of lives. Paradoxically, but due to global warming, some countries will begin to experience a shortage of fresh water. And not only because of the arid climate. The fact is that deposits of snow in the mountains provide vast territories with water, and after it melts, there will be no such benefit anymore. All this will greatly affect the economy, even if the process of flooding is gradual. Take the US and China, for example. Whether you like it or not, these countries greatly influence the economic situation around the world. In addition to the problem of displacing tens of millions of people and losing their capital, the states will lose almost a quarter of their manufacturing capacity, which will ultimately hit the global economy. And China will be forced to say goodbye to its huge trading ports, which will reduce the flow of products to the world market at times. Some scientists reassure us that the observed melting of glaciers is normal, because somewhere they disappear, and somewhere they are formed, and thus the balance is maintained. Others point out that there are still reasons for concern, and provide convincing evidence. Not so long ago, British scientists analyzed 50 million satellite images of the Antarctic ice sheets and came to the conclusion that they are melting very rapidly. In particular, the gigantic Totten Glacier, comparable in size to the territory of France, causes concern. The researchers noticed that it was washed away by warm salty waters, accelerating its decay. According to forecasts, this glacier can raise the level of the world ocean by as much as 2 meters. It is assumed that the Larsen B Glacier will collapse by 2020. And by the way, as much as 12,000 years. Opinions of scientists about the melting of the Antarctic ice sheet are very different, but what is known for certain is that man, through his activities, greatly affects the climate. If humanity does not solve the problem of global warming in the next 100 years, then the process will be inevitable. One of the worst cataclysms of our time occurred in December 2004 off the coast of the Indonesian island, Sumatra. A powerful earthquake triggered a tsunami that reached the coasts of 18 countries within a few hours. Tens of thousands of dead and missing, many destroyed buildings, and this is not all the consequences of that terrible catastrophe. The seafloor fracture occurred at 7:58 local time. And after 10 minutes, the water receded from the coast of Sumatra, which had already been destroyed by the earthquake. A few minutes later, the island was covered by a huge wave, the height of which reached 24 meters. Our video is nearing the end. Subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what video we will post next.